Hey everybody, I'm Jesse Parley, Vice President with Family First Life Avenues, and I'm excited today for our new agent profile. I got my man Datone Jones with us, newly licensed agent, newly with Family First Life, and we're going to get in to a lot about kind of what his background is and what led him to get into the industry and specifically to work with us, and where it may fit for anyone else that's watching this that may want to work with him. So Datone, welcome.
How you doing? Thank you for having me,
Good.
Jesse.
Glad to have you. Let's just dive right in, man. I mean, let's give people a little bit of a background about you, right? Grew up in LA, professional football. Kind of give us some clarity, kind of where you started and kind of where you've gone.
So I'm Datone Jones. Grew up in Compton, California, Los Angeles native. My journey started as a young athlete, looking to find his way coming up in the world, where I started off as I started off as a basketball player.
Okay.
I had hoop dreams. I thought I was going to the NBA my whole life. I was a huge Kobe fan, Los Angeles Lakers fan, but my high school PE teacher was also the high school head football coach, and he used to always tell me, Datone, you're only going to be about 6'2", 6'3". You need to get out here and start learning this game of football. I started falling in love with the training process. I started falling in love with the group, of the locker room, the community of guys we had. It was a lot of guys just starting off for the first time ever playing football. And during that time, I saw a lot of guys quitting with the training. A lot of guys turning to the streets of Compton, California at an early age. And then pretty much me staying consistent with everything helped me develop into a much better player. So I started going to a lot of different camps. Pete Carroll took notice of me. A lot of great collegiate head coaches took notice of me. And from there, going into my junior year, after playing 1 year of football, I received a scholarship offer to USC. Not only USC, UCLA, where I actually attended.
All right, so you're at UCLA, right? Big time recruit, national program, right? When did you kind of figure out, when did it click for you, right, that this is an opportunity that you have to really change, your life and potentially your family's life?
I'll say it clicked for me my freshman year of college. I was able to play in a few games, and then my number was called on to where I was able to actually start. I started 6 games there. I finished off as a freshman All-American. I saw a lot of guys in my position room started getting drafted, and I was like, oh my gosh, if they got drafted and he had this many sacks, but I had this many, then I'm going to be drafted one day.
You're like,
so
I can play at this level.
I can do this, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was more about preparing my mindset now. Preparing my mindset, okay, what am I going to do the next upcoming year? How I'm going to become a much better player? What am I going to have to do to really develop as a player? Because I want to play in the National Football League now. It's possible because I'm seeing guys who are playing in the National Football League.
Right. You've got agents pitching you on why they should represent you. You've got whoever else is talking to you about stuff, right? Most of that, all of that, targeting just you're about to get paid a bunch of money. Let me help you get the most. Or is anyone talking to you about setting yourself up once you have it?
Well, for me, during that time, the thing that was most important for me during that time was who believed in me the most. Because during that time, during the draft process, kind of which round you're going to get drafted in. You're kind of already slated, into which round you're going to get drafted in. You kind of have to get lucky. Somebody at your position kind of have to fall off in order for you to move up. So my biggest thing was during the interview process with the agents, I'm asking them, hey, do you believe that I could go first round? A few of them, I hosted around 15 meetings with different agents. A few of them are saying, hey, you might go 3rd round. We got you listed as a 4th round pick. In my mind, I'm like, I'm not talking to these guys anymore. I'm not being cocky, but I want to be.
You need someone that believes in you too, for sure.
Yeah, I was a huge Blindside fan of Michael Orr. I was a huge Blindside fan. So when I saw Radio City Hall in New York, him walk across the stage, all his family crying, that's what I wanted. That's the feeling that I wanted. But I knew what I produced in college, I deserved to be there, So I found my agent, which his name was Sean Kiernan. He believed in me. I believed in him. He set me up. Put me in contact with the best trainers. just the best environment for my mind. And for me, I went out, my agent, he helped me through the recruiting process of finding a financial advisor, finding an accountant, and I vetted those guys out, great guys, and
you went with who felt right.
I went with who felt right.
Now, did you have them teach you what was going on, or you just trusted that they had your best interests?
My first 2 years, I felt like they had my best interests. And then it became a time to where it was like, all right, I want to start investing into things. I need to take it amongst myself to invest my own money, So I never had any power of attorney. It was more so about me really saying, hey, I need you guys to teach me about credit. I need you guys to teach me not only about personal credit, I need you guys to teach me about business credit. Okay, I've lost maybe 5 friends during this time. I don't know anything about life insurance.
Right.
I don't understand it. A lot of guys are hitting me up back home. Well, we lost this person. Can you donate some cash to their GoFundMe? And
right.
I'm like, I think I need some life insurance now.
Yeah.
So.
Right. At what point in your career does someone start talking to you about life insurance, or did you have to ask yourself?
I would say that it was very taboo when I was in college. A lot of guys, unless you were top tier like a Reggie Bush or a Tim Tebow, the life insurance question wasn't really brought into place.
Okay.
It wasn't, guys weren't insuring their bodies like they are today because of NIL, because of, you're a true brand that you can now be paid in college, so you need to protect yourself early on. So guys are now more hip to it than when we were hip to it back in 2013, from 2008 to 2013. So for me, it wasn't until my second year in the NFL where I actually, got my life insurance policies in order. And during that time, I didn't know who I should go with. My agent recommended a guy, one of his guys. It could have been from any company, and they set me up.
So, right, one of the things we're focusing on in this conversation, right, is sort of where you've had transitions to where you've tried to figure out kind of what's the next goal, right? So now you're an ex-player, right? And you've never had a real job before.
Never had a job in my life,
right? So
besides working hard and
yeah, I mean, you know how to, right? You know how to give effort and energy to things, but you've never had, a civilian job before,
right?
Right. So now right, you're post playing. You're trying to figure out kind of what is your next goal. You're starting at the bottom again, just like in college, just like in the pros, right? What has led you to insurance?
Well, number one, I would say during my playing career, I would say maybe year 6 in 2019 for myself was a wake-up call year for me. I didn't get the nice, big, crazy second contract. It was really decent to where I was able to buy my mom a house. I paid it off cash. So now I'm not as cash heavy as I thought I was going to be. So for me playing, 2019 comes, I go to the Jaguars in free agency. I get hurt, and now I'm done for the whole year, and no teams are checking on me. So now I'm like, okay, I just spent all of this cash on this home. I still have my home. I still have cars. I still have a lifestyle that I'm trying to keep up with. If football doesn't call me again, what do I do? What do I do? Because now my overhead in life is, maybe I have about 5 or 6 years until I'm bankrupt, or am I gonna let my wealth continue to grow by me finding something else?
So Datone, you've talked about kind of where you grew up, paraphrasing, come from nothing, stood on nothing, right? So clearly with your professional experience, like, a bunch of that has changed, right? The opportunity that you're, taking with us now, you're going to have some opportunities to work with clients to help them take steps to protect some of the same. I mean, where do you see the excitement for you with what you've seen and where you've come from?
I'll say I'm very excited. Number one, to help other people, but just a little bit again about myself. I'm the first one in my household, one of 6, to graduate from high school. I'm the youngest. I'm the first one to graduate from high school. I'm the first one to get a college degree. I'm the first one to not only buy myself a home, but I'm the first one to buy my mom a home as well too. Also, I'm the first one to also get life insurance. Just in case anything happened to myself, I can pass down my wealth to my family to make sure that they're okay and my children's children are okay.
Yeah, you're setting up a generational change.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say to, people that come from a similar background, right, and aren't necessarily sure, life insurance isn't for me. I don't have $1 million or all that stuff.
I would say life insurance is the quickest way to create that. And one thing, if you're into the Bible, if you're into your faith, it says that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And I believe life insurance is the fastest way of creating that.
Yeah, you're protecting what you're doing and giving that sort of safety net for sure.
You're giving a safety, you have the ability to give a safety net for not only yourself, but your wife and kids and their kids as well too, and create that Rockefeller lineage for your family.
It's an opportunity, right, to be the change as opposed to hoping it changes.
Most definitely. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And that's what I'm trying to create and help inspire for not only myself, but for the community that I come from. And hopefully the thousands, hopefully millions of people that I'm able to reach down the line.
I think the world's your oyster, and within this setup, right, you can make this be whatever you need it to be for you, and we've got the ability to help anybody else out there, right, that isn't sure what to do with themselves. If they're not in the right job now, maybe they want something different, or right, if they came from nothing and didn't understand what's out there, right, it's great. I mean, we both graduated college. It's totally unnecessary for the role.
And I totally agree with you on that fact right there. A lot of people don't know what they want to do, especially in my field with athletics. A lot of retired guys, or even guys that's in college that don't get the chance to go and play professional football, they go through that grace period of, man, what do I do? Only thing I know is football. We've been groomed to only understand plan A and not plan B.
Right. You've been able to, people say you've been able to play a kid's game, right? So no disrespect, right? You've been a kid up until that end. So you could be in your 20s when that ends. You could be in your 30s. If you're Tom Brady, you'd be in your 40s, right? But it's a childhood dream playing out over decades in that scenario.
And what I think most is just transition away from the game. You got to find what you really love to do or what you really want to do in life and come up with a plan. Because since I've been done playing, a lot of my friends are going through a lot of mental health issues. A few of my friends have gone through divorces. Just because when money gets tight in the home, me and you are both married men. When money gets tight in the home, we understand that arguments come up that we don't want to have.
Yep.
And for me, it was okay, let me find a business that I could be involved with that helps and service people, so.
And gives you the self-worth.
And gives me the self-worth, gives me a lenient schedule, and when I do come into the office, it feels like the locker room. And that's what we all really miss about the game is the locker room. It's a team game. You're not going to start off at the top. You're going to have to work your way up. You're going to have to learn. You're going to have to be bad enough, long enough to eventually where you could be good at it. And that's where I've humbled myself since I met you and said, hey, Jesse, I'm willing to be bad at this game long enough to where I'm good at it because I know the payoff. So I want to thank you so much.
You got to go in the third, fourth quarter when you're getting blown out.
Yep.
Right? To end up being the starter the next year.
Hey, and you got to be ready to strap on your boots, strap on your helmets, put your pads on. We all put our pads on the same and prepare and go make a play.
100%. 100%. Well, you guys listen, I think that kind of covers what we wanted to cover today. If you have any interest in reaching out, to me or Datone, our Instagram handles are underneath our faces. Reach out to us through social media. Go to FFLavenues.com. You can reach out through the website. If you're looking for a new career or an additional career, or just trying to get some guidance as to whether or not the life insurance industry may be for you, we're your guys.